Have you ever said or heard someone say, my daughter is my best friend, or a dad say, my son is my best friend? For some reason, I seem to hear women say that their daughter is their best friend a little bit more than I hear it from men. Is that a thing or a study? No. But here's the thing. Every time I hear that, I cringe a little bit inside. Now, wait. You might be thinking, no, you don't understand. My daughter and I, my adult child and I are like this. We are close. That is my go-to person. I'm their go-to person. And that just means we have a healthy relationship. Does it though? Look, I know this may not be a popular topic with a lot of people, but I want to introduce an alternate perspective for you today. And if you are new, my name is Dawn, D-A-W-N, like the morning, the recovery lady. I'm a licensed behavioral health clinician here with life recovery tips and what seems like a very long series on empty nesting, but this is such a specific niche and very close to my heart as I'm in this area myself. Back to, is your adult child your best friend? Ask yourself this. What constitutes a best friend? I have a best friend. I've had a best friend for 40 years. This is a person I can go to who will give it to me straight. This is a person that I can go to that I'll say, hey, I need your feedback. I trust you to give me feedback. And most importantly, this is a person I can go to with the depths of my soul, whether it's hurt, despair, a want, a need, a thought struggle, whatever it is. I can go to her and she can come to me, and there is no judgment. It's loving you right where you're at. And you may be thinking, yes, that's how my relationship is with my adult child. I can tell them anything. They can tell me anything. My child's so mature, and look, I don't care if your child's 40 and you're 60 or 70, or your kid's 60 and you're 90. There's an issue with that, and here's what it is. With a best friend, when you're going in with your hurts, your habits, your hang-ups, as we say in Celebrate Recovery, your things that you're really struggling with, and oftentimes needing feedback, that is not always a safe or advisable place to share with your child. And here's why. And I want you to know, I have seen this, and I've seen this done by moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles. I don't care, surrogates, whoever you are, however your kids came to be, adopted, birthed, IV, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're still your children. You're still their legal guardian, most likely. And anytime we put something on our children, it creates a burden for them. Okay, let me give you an example. What I see a lot of times is, let's say it's a mom, or, talking to her son or daughter, who they think is their best friend. Oh, your dad is just making me so mad. He is out playing pool with the guys tonight. He didn't do the dishes again. And I'm just, Bobby, Susie, I'm just so afraid he could be having an affair. He isn't coming home. Boom. When you start sharing, especially, and this is one of the biggest heinous errors I see, is when you're sharing any marital, relational concerns with yourself and your spouse, whether that other person or partner you're with is the other parent to that child or not, you are putting a burden on that child. Look, now you might be thinking, hey, no, my kid, they know their dad's no good or their mom's no good. They know, and they're with me on it, and they're on my side. Now we're talking parental alienation. Look, I am not saying you cannot and should not have a close relationship with your adult child. God bless you if you do. But at the end of the day, you're still the parent. At the end of the day, that kid, you are in a parental role. This is not equal. This is not an equal relationship. A best friend, it's an equal relationship. where people speak the truth to each other in love. And yes, is it appropriate if your adult kid wants to come tell you all this stuff? Sure, if you want to give a parental response, if they're asking for your opinion. If they just want you to listen, it's different. Although really you don't need to be involved if your kid's marriage is married with their marital conflict, because it will skew your perspective of your married-in child. But when you are saying something negative because your adult child's your best friend about your partner, your spouse, especially like I said, if it's one of their parents, you are putting a burden on them. If you're labeling that other parent as doing something bad or wrong, you're in such a wrong place with that sharing. You're not seeing that that child is half, whether by birth, by DNA, or by influence of that other person. So by criticizing that other person to the adult child or young child, you're putting the kid in the middle of something that has to be fixed. Look, you may not like this, but it will affect your relationship. It will create distress in your adult child. It's not just the relational things. I had an experience with this myself. I am a single parent where I was talking to, and I'm going to be very vulnerable with you. I was just talking about, gosh, I wish I had known about retirement and saving and all the things, and just having concern about how I would, if I would ever have that opportunity or that season of my life, or if I'd work till the good Lord took me home. Either way is okay. But I said that too often in front of one of my kids. And I felt a shift in our relationship with this child being an adult, to eventually the child, thank God, talked to their own therapist. And that child said to me, every time you say that, I feel responsible, like you're asking me to take care of you. And I don't even know how I'm going to support myself at this point, because a child's out living on their own. You know what? I just about fell over. I never, ever intended for that child to feel like they were responsible for me. I'm still the mom. They're still the adult child. Hey, if there's an arrangement later in life and, whatever, I know our kids are often responsible for us when we're not able to care for ourselves. That's one thing. It was never my intention, though, to make that child feel that way. And I was so grateful they told me, because that was several years ago, but that was like a wake-up call for me. Oh, wow, Dawn, who you sharing with? You've got a best friend. You've got other friends. You've got peripheral friends, acquaintance friends, support groups, therapists, like a lot of places I could take my fears or concerns about that. If we were thinking your child is your friend to the point where you're going to share that kind of stuff, it is critical that you open your mind and you think about how it affects them. So what's the answer to that question? What's the answer to the topic of this video this week? Is it okay for our adult child to be our best friend? No, it is not. Not in my professional, clinical, or personal opinion. To have a good relationship, yes. But at the end of the day, you are the parent. They are the child. They're functioning. And believe me, I'm getting to the shift in life too, where now all of a sudden it's like the adult kids are like, Mom, you need to start doing this. And I'm like, hey, when did this power shift change that you think you're the boss of me? I know that happens as we age and in life and stuff. But in general, having your child be your best friend, if you think your child is your adult child, look, if you're doing this to a minor, it's a whole other issue we got going on, okay? But we're talking about adults right now, because this is an empty nest series. But it is a problem if you're sharing that stuff with minors. You're actually psychologically, emotionally damaging them. And to a degree, the same thing with your adult child. It's time to look at yourself if you think your adult child's your best friend. You need to have safe people. I can tell my best friend what I think about anything, and it's not going to affect her well-being. It's not about her. She can look objectively at me. Our children, our adult children, don't have that same thing. And whether it's about a significant other, the other parent, a relative of theirs, of yours jointly, think about the damage that you can have. It's showing that something is off balance if you consider your adult child your best friend. That's uncomfortable, and it's a growth. It doesn't mean you have to be less close with them, but it means you need to have your emotional needs being met somewhere else, because you may have parentified those kids, meaning putting them in a parental role if you've been doing it for a long time when they were young children, and now there's a burden. Even if they come back with all the wisdom, even if your child is a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a therapist, a counselor, not appropriate. This is all part of our healing and growth. And you know what? No matter how old we get, and I'm getting there, we have places to grow and places to learn and to be better. And when we know better, we do better. And when we do better, our kids do better. Remember, I told you I had that patient in her 80s get sober, and her son in his 60s got sober because the mom in the 80s got sober. It is never too late. You haven't blown it. It's not too late. It is never too late to create a good example, because our kids are strengthened when they see us change and willing to change and grow and have insight to ourselves at any age. Love you guys. I am creeping up to 200 subscribers. I think I'm around 160 at the time of this filming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Interact. This is such a unique little niche we have with empty nesting, but if anything I've shared has been useful, I sure appreciate you guys. Love you so much. Have a really blessed day. God's got you. Bye.